As someone who works in the kitchen remodeling industry, I see a lot of kitchen layouts on a daily basis. Whenever I'm designing a layout for someone who actually cooks, especially a beginner, these are 5 things I always make sure to include. Number 1, more countertop space around your cooking zone. Why? Because prep space reduces stress. You have more space to do your prepping. You're not stressing about where do I put my vegetables? Where do I put my cutting board? To be comfortable, okay? You have enough space to do that. You also need room for appliances. Like, let's say you have an air fryer, you have a coffee maker, you need room for your ingredients, like your knives. Granted, we are able to build those into the cabinets. For example, you can have a cabinet drawer specifically for your utensils. You can have a cabinet where you put your small appliances so they don't take space on the counter. But let's say you're someone who's always on the go, you have a busy schedule, like you're not always gonna have time to, go into the cabinet and pull out your coffee maker and make the coffee and then put the coffee maker back. It's way easier for most people to have space on the counter. You just leave it there, you wake up, you make your coffee, and then you're out. A beautiful kitchen can become very frustrating if there is nowhere to actually cook. Number 2, deep drawers. It's becoming more and more common nowadays. People ask for deep drawers instead of just, single door or like double door cabinets, because it's easier for them to store their pots and pans. You don't have to get on your knees to look for things because it's easier to organize your tools. That's especially good for beginners because that was a fly. That's especially good for beginners because you don't have to deal with the stress of having to find your tools, your utensils. You just focus on improving your cooking. Number 3, a pull-out trash recycle near the prep zone. If you have one of those, you know how useful that is to have your trash recycle right next to your prep zone, because you can just, peel your ingredients, take what you don't need and just dump it in the trash. You don't have to move around the kitchen. You don't have to, go around in circles. Well, not really, but you get the point. It's right there. Whatever can make cooking easier for the person, I try to include that in the layout, because you want a kitchen that not only looks beautiful to you, that's not only pleasing to the eyes, but if you're someone who cooks, you need something that's practical. So that's why I like including a trash recycle, a pull-out cabinet near the prep zone, because it just makes the cleaning process way easier for you. I always talk about cleaning as you cook, and that is one of the best way you can help a homeowner who cooks be able to do that. Number 4, adding lighting in the area that is used the most. When you're cooking, you're using sharp tools like knives. It's really important to keep the area, especially the prep zone and the cooking area, meaning the stove, well lit, because you want to make sure that the person who's cooking will be able to clearly see what they're doing. So I like to add recessed lights wherever I can over the prep zone. The stove usually has a hood with lighting, so I don't really have to worry about that too much, but I like to add under cabinet light strips or recessed lights. Or if they don't want recessed lights, I can suggest like changing their light bulbs to a warm white. I like it better. I think it makes it easier for you to see, because the yellow can be really bright sometimes, and if it works for the person, I'm not going to force them to get warm white, because at the end of the day, that's their kitchen. They're the one who's going to use it, so whatever they want to add, I do. But I always suggest warm white, because that's especially if they're going for a modern kitchen, the lighting is just better in general. And then the last thing I would add is well, it's multiple things, but it's like those pull-out cabinets that you can either do a spice rack where you can put all your spices. It's like a very small cabinet. Most of the time it's like 9 to 12 inch wide. We can do a spice rack to help them organize their spices, or whatever they need really, but anything that helps with organization, I try to include, because a good kitchen shouldn't just look beautiful in pictures. It should make your cooking process easier. It should make your everyday life easier. Just like I mentioned earlier with the coffee maker, instead of having to put it away every day and take it out every time you need to use it, having a dedicated space to put it will make that person's life easier. Let me know in the comments below if you want more insights from the kitchen remodeling industry. I would be more than happy to share them with you, whether you're a homeowner, a contractor, or a renter. I mostly work with homeowners because we do full remodels, but I can also share some tips that can help people who rent. That's not my area of expertise, but I will do the research. I will ask around if that's going to help you, because I know not everyone who cooks owns a home, and you need to be able to do with what you have. Speaking of, I always encourage people not to wait till they have the perfect kitchen to start their cooking journey, because waiting for perfection is a trap. I'll link the video right here. I think it's going to be really, really helpful whether you currently rent or own a home, because I talk about how to make the most out of the space that you currently do have. So I'll see you there. Bye for now.